are going to present about the process flow of the dry fractionation unit. I am going to present about the crystallization process.
And I'm going to present about the filtration process.
Okay, this is the crystallization process. First, RBDPO must pass quality specification before it is being fed to the heat exchanger. Then, after it is being fed in the heat exchanger, RBDPO is heat using water bath at 75 degrees Celsius. Then, the oil is kept homogenized at 70 degrees Celsius in homogenizers before start of crystallization process. Oil is then pumped to the crystallizer. Crystallization system is a batch type and is equipped with special crystallizers operating alternately. The crystallization process is carried out to remove higher melting glycerides, causes liquid oils to become cloudy and more viscous at low temperature.
So, going to the next process, which is after the crystallization process, we are going to proceed to filtration process. So here, as we can see here, is actually the machine for filtration process, which is the plate and filter press machine. So, this machine will separate the product which is required for this experiment, which is the stearine and olein. So stearine is basically in the form of solid, and olein will be obtained in the form of liquid. So this machine will undergo the process to obtain those two products finally.
Okay, so here the method of magnetic particle inspection can be applied directly to the filter press. So here we have our filter press, and let's figure out the line of cracks. So this is actually the point of discontinuity. So in order to determine, so first we use liquid containing magnetic particles to be applied on the surface, and after that we use a magnetic field which will trigger the magnetic particles to be migrated to the surface of cracks, and lastly we visualize under fluorescent light for better seeing the point of discontinuity.
Go.
So, do you get the point? Very good. There are several advantages of this method compared to other NDT method. First, it can be used in a very fine cracks, and the second one, this method also can be utilized in a subsurface which is in the internal part of the equipment. Thank you.
Okay, so in order to perform the method of NDT of magnetic particle inspection, okay, a magnetic field line must be produced. Okay, to produce a magnetic line, induced current must be applied to the pump or the metal or the component. Okay, after magnetic field line is produced, a suspension containing magnetic particles will then be applied onto the pump or the surface of the leakage. When this happens, the suspension containing magnetic particles will clump together on the surface of the leakage due to the discontinuities of the magnetic flow line. Okay, so after that, usually in industry, UV light is applied to the leakage to visually enhance, to see where is the leakage.
Principle is to magnetize a ferromagnetic workpiece parallel to its surface, as shown in the sectional view. If the workpiece is free from defects, the magnetic field lines run within the workpiece and parallel to its surface. In places of magnetic inhomogeneity, for instance near cracks, the magnetic field lines will locally leave the surface and a leakage field occurs. Now, if a suspension of ferromagnetic particles is applied onto the test piece surface, the magnetic particles will run off at defect-free areas. In places of leakage fields, the magnetic particles are attracted and clustered together, thus indicating the place of the defect. The method works best using a pigment which covers the magnetic particles and shows fluorescence under ultraviolet light. Even cracks can be detected that are not open to the surface but just below it, as long as they are not too far below the surface. But one precondition must always be fulfilled. The magnetic field lines must be perpendicular, or at least at a certain angle to the defect. Otherwise there will be no leakage field and the defects remain undetected. Our tests are
Okay, the method to prevent the equipment from damage is firstly we should clean all this filter press thoroughly after being used, and then we should power wash the plates and the filter close to avoid cake build-up in them. And then if we pump a low solid, we should avoid to pump low solid with a fast rate. So because it will faster the wear out of the closed plate and the pipe lines. Magnetic rubber is the most suitable as the filter press has a lot of small and unreachable places to detect the crack. Unlike the other testing method, they can't reach the small and unreachable places. The improvement that can be done to improve the testing is by using magnetic rubber. Magnetic rubber can exclude a small and fine area such as in the hole, in the diameter hole, in the this filter press hole, and the other fine areas such as at the valve and others.
How do you overcome if the leakage is actually parallel to the magnetic wave?
Okay, as my slide, that is why we have to put 3 sensors so that it can detect axial, and then axial, radial, and circumferential component. So we have to put 3 sensors so that it can detect all leakage.
As far as I know, magnet is actually a sensitive material. So does that give any limitation or disadvantage to this equipment in order to test the leak compared to other non-destructive testing?
Disadvantages. So as Zafri have explained earlier, size of defects are very limited because as the non-normal one, it can only detect thickness from 20 to 30 mm. The thickness 20 to 30 mm. And also it's very poor for axial cracks as Khalida asked earlier, and what has Hakimi shown on the diagram, when it have axial cracks, the magnet cannot reflux and it will just flow. That's it.
Okay, so you guys can see from the picture, the magnetic particles inspection actually has a flaw. When they put the magnetic particles on when the ferrofluid particles on the top of the material, so it has a range, actually a range of the height. It has the range of height. When the height is actually deeper than 10 mm, 30, around 20 mm. So the particles cannot be detected. So they will not be come together on the top of the crack.
Any more questions?
No. Okay, actually these pipes they go through inside the cutter, right?
Yeah.
So how they go through the curve pipes?
Intelligent. So we can pass everything. No, the machine.
When they put the intelligent pig inside, they put also pressure. So the engineers have already calculated the amount of pressure that is being put for the intelligent pig, so that it can just they can just go at the exit hole and just take the intelligent pig.
Okay, and then if any stuck of the pig stuck in the pipeline, they will send another pig, which is a regular pig, not intelligent pig, to push it.
Is it not like a robot?
Yeah.
I think
Any more questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay.